Now this is the account of Anu's journey to the lands beyond the oceans, and how in the first region for the Anunnaki cities were reestablished. Having the decision about the four regions and mankind's civilizations made, Anu about his grandson Marduk inquired. I must see him again, to the leaders, Anu said. Whether by Dumuzi and Ningish Zeta to Nibiru inviting, Marduk's ire I must have caused. So did Anu wonder. To reconsider the punishment of Marduk he wished. When to the lands beyond the oceans you journey, Marduk to meet you will be told. The land where he roams, and those parts of the earth it is. So did Enlil to Anu say. Before, for the distant lands the royal couple went, the Eden and its lands Anu and Antu surveyed. Eridu and Nibiru Key they visited. Where the cities of the first region were planned they saw. In Eridu Enlil about Enki complained. The me formulas to himself Enki is keeping. Anu, on the seat of honor seated, words of praise to Enki said. My son, for himself a magnificent house built, beautifully on a platform it is raised. To the people that the house surround and serve, great knowledge will Enki give. Now, the knowledge that in the me's is secreted, with other Anunnaki must be shared. Embarrassed was Enki. To share with all the divine formulas to Anu he promised. In the ensuing days, in skyships traveling, Anu and Antu the other regions surveyed. Then, on the seventh day, to Anu Gi, the royal couple returned for one more night of rest. In the morrow, when the younger Anunnaki before Anu and Antu for a blessing came, Anu to his great-granddaughter Inanna took a liking. He drew her closely, he hugged and kissed her. Let all my words heed, to the congregated he announced. This place, after we leave, to Inanna as a dowry is given. Let the skyship in which we the earth shall survey, to Inanna my present be. Joyed Inanna to dance and sing began. Her praises of Anu as hymns in times to come were chanted. Thereafter, bidding farewells to the Anunnaki for the lands beyond the oceans, Anu and Antu departed. Enlil and Enki, Ninurta and Ishkur with them to the golden land went. To impress Anu the king with great golden riches, Ninurta an abode for Anu and Antu built. Its stone blocks to perfection cut, with pure gold inside were covered. A golden enclosure, with flowers of carnelian stones carved, the royal couple awaited. By the shore of the great mountain lake was the abode erected. How the gold nuggets are collected, the visitors were shown. There is gold here enough for many shars to come, Anu, satisfied, said. To a place nearby, Ninurta to Anu and Antu, an artificed mound showed. How to a place for melting and refining metals it was made, Ninurta explained. How a new metal from stones was extracted, he showed them. Anak, Anunnaki made, he called it. How by combining it with the abundant copper, a strong metal he invented, he showed them. On the great lake, from whose shores the metals came, Anu and Antu sailed. The Lake of Anak, Anu called it. Henceforth, this was its name. Then from the north, lands where great horned beasts are hunted, Marduk before his father Enki and his grandfather Anu came. Nabu, his son, was with him. When Enki about Sarpanit inquired, Marduk with sorrow of her death them told. Now Nabu alone with me has remained, to his father and grandfather Marduk said. Anu, Marduk to his chest pressed. Enough you have been punished, to him he said. With his right hand on Marduk's head, Anu, Marduk to be forgiven, blessed. From the golden place, high in the mountains, all who had gathered to the plain below went. There, stretching to the horizon, Ninurta a new place for the chariots has prepared. Anu and Antu's celestial chariots stood there ready. with gold to the brim it was loaded. As the time for departing came, Anu to his children words of goodbye and guidance said, "Whatever destiny for earth and the earthlings intended, let it so be. If man, not Anunnaki, to inherit the earth is destined, let us destiny help. Give mankind knowledge, up to a measure, secrets of heaven and earth to them teach. Laws of justice and righteousness teach them, then depart and leave." So did Anu to his children fatherly instructions give. Once more they hugged, embraced, and kissed, and from the new chariot's place Anu and Antu for Nibiru left. The first to break the sorrowed silence was Marduk. With anger were his words. "What is this new place of celestial chariots?" Of the others an explanation he demanded. "What after my exile without my knowledge has transpired?" When Enki of the decisions about the 4 regions to Marduk told, Marduk's fury knew no bounds. "Why will Inanna, a cause of Demuzi's death, her own region get? The decisions have been made, they cannot be altered." So did Enlil to Marduk say. In separate skyships to the Eden and its adjoining lands they returned. Sensing trouble, Enlil, Ishkur to stay behind instructed. Over the gold, watch to keep. To commemorate Anu's visit, a new count of time passage was introduced. By earth years, not by Nibiru shars, was what on earth transpired to be counted. And the age of the bull, to Enlil dedicated, was the count of the earth years begun. When to the Eden the leaders returned, the place of the first civilized region, how to make bricks from mud the Anunnaki the earthlings taught, therewith cities to build. But where once cities of the Anunnaki had alone stood, cities for both them and earthlings now arose. Therein and in new cities for the great Anunnaki sacred precincts were consecrated. Therein the Anunnaki with lofty abodes were provided. Temples by mankind they were called. Therein the Anunnaki as lofty lords were served and worshipped. By number ranks were they honored. The heirship to mankind made known. Anu, the heavenly, the rank of 60 held. To Enlil, the 50 rank was given. On Ninurta, his foremost son, did Enlil the same rank bestow. Next in succession was the Lord Enki, the rank of 40 he held. To Nanar, the son of Enlil and Ninlil, the rank of 30 assigned. To his son and successor, Utu, the rank of 20 was allotted. 10 as the number rank to the other Anunnaki leaders' sons was granted. Ranks by the 5s between the female Anunnaki and spouses were shared. When after Eridu and Nibiru Ki and their temple abodes were completed, in Lagash the Gursu precinct for Ninurta was built. His black skybird there was kept. In Ninu, house of 50, was the temple abode for Ninurta and Bau, his spouse called. The supreme hunter and the supreme smiter, weapons, a gift of Anu, the Ininu protected. Where Sapar, before the deluge had been, on top of the mud soil, Utu, a new Sapar established. In the Ababar, the shining house and abode for Utu and his spouse Aya was raised. From there, Utu for mankind laws of justice promulgated. Where because of silt, mud, the olden plans could not be followed, new sites were chosen. Adab, a site from Shurabak, not distant, for Nanarsag, as a new center was made. The house of succor and healing knowledge was her temple abode therein named. The Mies, of how the earthlings were fashioned, Nanarsag in its holy shrine kept. For Nanar, a city with straight streets, canals, and wharves was provided. Urim was its name. House of the throne's seed was its temple abode called. The moon's beams to the lands it reflected. Ishkur to the mountain lands of the north returned. The house of 7 storms his abode was called. Inanna in Unig-ki resided. In the boat by Antu bequeathed to her she dwelt. Marduk and Nabu in the Eridu dwelt. In the Eden their own abodes they did not have.